in Football Nation. It's your boy Rio, and I'm back. I miss y'all, man. It's been a couple weeks. I took a little mental and physical hiatus to get my mind right. Let's call it my own type of bye week of sorts. But I'm back to give y'all another episode of Rambling with Rio, and we ramble about Washington. And it is Victory Monday. A Victory Monday mood. The first time since October 3rd, our Washington football team just shocked the goddamn world and beat the reigning champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers 29-19. Not only did we beat the reigning champs, we beat the seven-ring GOAT, Sir Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. The GOAT, God Brady, came to D.C., and we gave him that work that we tried to give to him in that playoff game last year. But, man, FedEx Field was absolutely electric. The atmosphere was insane. Don't let anyone take a picture of what the crowd looked like and tell you it wasn't, because that experience, man, I thought the Giants Thursday nighter was an experience. This game today was absolute euphoria, and the whole game was nerve-wracking because although we controlled the majority of the game, 95% of the game was controlled by us. I felt every second of the game like, here comes the Washington moment. Here comes the Washington moment. Here comes the Washington moment, where we make that crucial ass mistake and the other team decides they're going to wake up and just take the game from us. I know everyone sensed it. When Dax Milne fumbled that ball in the second half, I was like, oh shit, here we go again. Here we go again. It's the same old Washington football team, Redskins cursed bullshit. And while we're speaking of cursed, we lost our guy, man. Our generational talent, Chase Young, who was actually playing a hell of a game today, getting pressure on Tom early. We lost him today, man. Like, you could see it as soon as he went down, especially from where I was sitting. The injury happened right in front of my section. He was writhing and just like squirming around in pain. It was bad. Like, you knew off rip it was bad. So prayers, a speedy recovery, and a mental, like, just keep your mental right, because Chase is not used to ever having injuries happen to him. I believe he's went his whole football career without a serious injury. So before we go into all the positivity and everything that we did good today, I just wanted to start off by wishing Chase Young a speedy recovery. I'm hard on you. We're hard on you as a fan base, and the media is hard on you. It's because we see something special in you, and you are a unique talent that we want to see live to the potential, because we've seen a lot of talents come and go here that never scratch the surface of how great they can be. And we see it with this dude. So we hold him to a standard that's better than 1.5 sacks in the first half of the season. And he was all over the place. Him and Jonathan Allen were dominating the backfield today. And that's why we were able to force 2 early interceptions on Tom Brady, which inevitably changed the game because, one, we kept the ball out of Tom's hand, and our kicker made field goals. Let's clap it the fuck up 1 second for Joey Sly. Another retread from Carolina. Seems like everything that's ever visited the city of Charlotte or the state of North Carolina is going to be a part of this organization at some point. But hey, shout out to Sly, man. He impressed. I hope y'all started him on y'all's fantasy squads today. He's an actual kicker. Unlike Blewett, he can get the ball over the snapper's head. Every kick isn't getting blocked, and it all looked good. The clean, like, it was right through the middle. He was splitting them all day. We have a goddamn kicker, but every time we kicked, it was just giving me this nervousness. Like, bro, we can't keep kicking field goals when Tom Brady's on the other side of the field. And it's like every time this team, I had that feeling inside, like, oh, they better score here or Tom's going to get him. Oh, they better score here or Tom's going to get him. Oh, they better make a play on this third down. They answered the call all day, so we can start with game balls. I'm going to make this a quick, very quick segment. The game balls go to the coaches today because Whatever the hell they were doing over that bye week, I need more of it. I need more of it. The game plan was great on both sides of the ball. I didn't see a bunch of we didn't score as many points as we should have, because for some reason once we get on the opponent's side of the field, our offense just decides that it doesn't want to participate anymore, and that starts with the quarterback. But we're going to get to Heineke in a second. The coaches, Scott Turner, Jack Del Rio, and more specifically Ron Rivera, talk your shit this week and get us right, because whatever happened during that bye week, we need more of it. I don't know if they got the secret stuff from the first Space Jam movie, but this team looked totally different. We got consistent pressure on a quarterback who gets the ball out of his hands faster than anyone in the history of the league. Our secondary covered receivers for the most part, until Kendall got mixed up by Mike Evans in the fourth. But that's what a great receiver does. That's what an elite receiver does. So I can't even get too mad at Kendall for that. But the linebackers played a decent game. The D-line was all over the place, and that was without Sweat and Chase for most of the game. We got Casey Toohill getting pressure, James Smith-Williams getting pressure, and Jonathan Allen, this guy may be having an all-pro year. He's going crazy, man. The pressure, the tackles for loss, the disruptions, the way he plugs the gap. He's an absolute fucking animal. Bobby McCain finally caught that pick that he's been so close to catching all year. Got us going. William Jackson, back from injury, caught a pick. Almost had two. Kendall almost had an exciting diving interception. And despite the fact that he got put in a goddamn blender versus Mike Evans, Kendall Fuller probably played his best game all season. And the defense absolutely came with it. And it started with a good game plan from Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera. Y'all all get the game balls for me for the week. Terry, you're a dog. You're always a dog. Gibson, I've been very critical of you. Very tough yardage and absolutely amazing stuff on the goal line to push through. Oh, and back to Ron, to let his balls hang and go for the 4th and 1, to just go for the jugular. That's what I'm talking about. That's the riverboat we signed up to ride on, man. I need more of it. We're 3-6. Let them hang. Let them hang. Before we go into the negative, pessimistic side of things, where we say it was 1 week, we shocked a good team, a great team, a Super Bowl contending team. Before we jump to next week and say, oh, the typical Washington thing is we just beat a great team, so we're going to lose to a not great team next week when we go to Carolina. We're not going to do that right now. Right now, we're just going to bask in the glorious vibes of victory, because we ain't seen one in over a month, and it feels fucking lovely. Being back at that stadium, we haven't had a home game since the Chiefs game, which was 3 days from being a month ago. So being back there for the first time, the vibes were great. The helicopter jet flyover for the Salute the Service month, which looks absolutely fantastic. They got the W camoed up. They got the end zone with the green Army fatigues in the letters. They got the Washington logo finally in the middle of the field instead of that corny-ass NFL shield that they've had there. I don't know why it took so long, and I don't know if this is a foreshadow or breadcrumb that the name could be Washington football team going forward. I don't think that's it, by the way. I think that's just fan fodder on Twitter, but I have no complaints over okay. Heineke, he was sharp-ish. There are still things that are left to be desired in his game as far as throwing outside the hashes, and he's afraid to run when yards are there, and he leaves so many check downs on the field, and he's not seeing the field like he's supposed to. But I'm not going to take today to dump on Heineke, because he played a very savvy game. He had an Alex Smith special today. An Alex Smith special. Just don't turn it over. He got away with a couple. He throws a couple lollipop prayers a game where the defense are dropping it when they have a clear shot at a pick. He threw about 2 or 3 of those. Could have changed the trajectory of the game, but it didn't happen. So I'll take it. I'll give Heineke a nice B for the day, B minus ish. He didn't play great by any means, but he did not at all play bad, and he's been pretty bad over the last few weeks. So good job, Taylor Heineke, for giving us some adequate-ish quarterback play and not turning the ball over and keeping our defense in good positions, you know. The field position game, the time of possession game, we were on top of that the entire day. And we dominated a great team, guys. We just beat the Super Bowl champions, a 6-2 team who came in here thinking they were going to stomp us. And not only did they think it, I thought it. Most of the fan base thought it. I tweeted yesterday. So what are the chances that we actually win this goddamn game tomorrow? And the mentions were crazy. I probably did like 200 mentions. Everybody had a different GIF, joke, or fuck no. Hell no. Not a chance unless Brady doesn't show up. All that shit. I went into the stadium today with zilch expectations. None at all. None at all. But, you know, when you go in with zero expectations and you're surprised, it feels lovely. It feels beautiful. It feels triumphant. We took down a Goliath. So this week, pump your chest up, stick your head up, and let's keep this momentum going. We got Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers next week. But for the next couple days, Washington Football Nation, before we tuck our heads and say, we still suck and the season's not going anywhere, let's try to bask in this victory because we beat a goddamn great football team today. And I don't want to hear about any of their players being missing because we're missing some very important guys. Our bookend edge rushers are out. Our starting tight end is out. Our wide receiver, too, that we paid this money this offseason, Mr. Sideline Samuel himself. Shout out my guy Ray from Washington Football Team on the daily for the Sideline Samuel nickname. You know, we're missing, like, our injury report looks like a damn dictionary every week. It's just full of names. It's just full of names every week. It's a goddamn rap sheet. So we're not going to use the injury excuse today. Does this win mean going forward we're going to come back and rally and make the playoffs? No. But it doesn't. But it means that the best team left on our schedule, we beat them. So we should be able to hang in with everyone that's remaining on the schedule. We got Carolina, we got the Raiders, and we got the division. Carolina, the Raiders, and the division. That's it. That's it, y'all. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. We beat the Buccaneers. We should be able to, but this is the trap game from years past. Washington goes out and plays to their competition. They go out and beat a great team, Super Bowl contender, and then come get washed by a bad team. Let's rinse the stench off from years past, and let's start to write a new chapter. Turn anew. Let's go to Carolina and win next week. Carolina beat us last year. It's Ron's first time back to Carolina. Go back to your old stomping grounds with your old quarterback, which I still think we should have signed. We'll have that conversation later this week. And welcome back, Cam, by the way. It felt good to see him take the helmet off and say, I'm back. Shout out to him. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that at another time this week. Right now, we got us a dub. We eating W's like my man Jameis said, and we're sitting at 3-6 with what should be winnable games on our schedule. We're not going to get too ahead of ourselves. I still will not be saying the P word. Playoffs. Yeah, we're not doing playoff talk. We're not doing none of that. But we are going to appreciate what's in front of us, and what's in front of us is a week of victory. And it was glorious. So I'll be seeing y'all a little bit more this week. I got a couple live streams set up. And we're going to get some guests back on the show. We're going to get back to regularly scheduled programming on the channel. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for checking in with me. Appreciate everybody I got to see at the game today. And the crowd for holding it down. We were loud. We were electric. And we went crazy like we won the Super Bowl at FedEx Field today. Shout out to everybody. Shout out Washington football team. Let's keep this shit rolling and see where it goes from there. But until next time, hail to the nameless football team. Salute to the service and the armed service out there. Deuces.